Hey guys, it's Jill here from Lavender and Friends, your source of essential oil education and inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm really excited to be sharing with you about the new oils that were launched at the 2020 Webvention. So for those of you who maybe haven't been following along, doTERRA convention was meant to be in April and it was going to be down in Melbourne. Now with everything going on, obviously it got cancelled, but we still didn't want to be missing out on all the goodness of conventions, so they actually moved it online. It was actually pretty darn cool, to be honest. I was really impressed because, first of all, the tickets were a lot cheaper. It was $20 and you could watch the material released live. They actually released it live at certain times. Or once you had the ticket, you could actually go through and watch it for a week. You had a whole week to watch it all, which was great for someone like me because obviously with two young kids, I don't really get a chance to sit there for a whole day straight watching it. So I've been able to kind of watch bits and pieces over the past couple of days, and I wanted to jump on here and do a workshop for you guys and share about these amazing new oils and help you get as excited as I am because there have been some absolutely phenomenal ones released. So what I will do is I will jump straight into the PowerPoint. Now, hopefully this starts working. Let's see how we go. Okay, so as I said, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I'm really excited to have you. And here we go, straight in. Okay, so as I said, this was an overview of the Thrive Webvention, which is the 2020 Webvention. Now, out of curiosity, who here has ever been to a convention before? Pop in the comments, let me know if you've been before or not. And my second question is, who watched the convention, the Webvention so far? Who was watching it? Love to know who of you guys, I guess if you've been to convention before, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you maybe kind of miss the atmosphere? For me personally, I definitely missed having that chance to connect with my interstate doTERRA friends. That was definitely something I do love doing when I go down to the conventions, is getting to catch up with everyone who I don't see other than on Facebook throughout the year. But at the same time, it was really nice to be able to watch convention in my pajamas or on the phone or just on the fly. So that was pretty cool, I thought. All right, so what we'll be doing today as well is we'll be going through a quick crash course in essential oils, how to use them, and then looking specifically at the new convention oils. So before we kick off, I'll give you guys a little bit of information about me. I'm a mum, I've got two young kids. We live on the Central Coast in Australia, and I've been using doTERRA for about 3 years actually. Gosh, 3 years, time flies when you're having fun. About 3 years, and one of the things I'm really passionate about is helping people realize how easy and how fun essential oils can be. So we started using the oils when my baby was 3 months old, and I didn't have time to do fancy, complicated things. If it wasn't quick and easy, wasn't interested. And we were just amazed at how effective the oils were, how easy it was to use them, and what a positive difference they could make in our lives. So they blew us away. I started just naturally sharing with my friends and telling them about how, they were helping us, and my friends were asking me lots of questions because they wanted to know more. And I kind of stumbled upon the whole teaching about essential oils thing. But it's been 3 years now. I didn't have to go back to work after my maternity leave was up, and I absolutely love what I do. I love getting to teach people. I love getting to connect with people and seeing the difference it makes in their lives. So if that's something you are interested in, I do always let people know there is an opportunity to teach people about their oils, to get your oils for free, or even build a business if that's something you're interested in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little look at a bit about essential oils. So the first thing I want to really stress is essential oils are safe. When you use them correctly, when you follow the instructions, they are 100% natural and they're safe. There's not side effects, there's not additions, and they're extracted from plants. They're a very natural product, and they've been around and used for as long as time can go. Like, they're not just this modern fad. They've been something that's been used and documented as being used throughout history. And one thing that I really love that's really important is when you have a pure and potent essential oil that has been tested and you know that there's no additives, no fillers, then you can be really confident in what you are using. So with doTERRA, one of the things they're really passionate about is their CPTG, which is Certified Pure Tested Grade. And that means that each batch has been independently tested by a third party. So there's no additives, no fillers, we know what's in the oil and we know that it's safe to be using. As I said, I started using oils when my baby boy was only 3 months old, so there was no way I was going to put something on him that I wasn't confident was going to be safe. Another cool thing about oils is that they are effective. And one of the things I really like to stress about oils is when we're using our essential oils, it's a more holistic approach. Now, a holistic approach is basically looking at the overall picture. What is the root cause of the problem that you might be experiencing, rather than just treating the symptoms? So if you have a headache, a holistic approach would be going, okay, why do we have this headache? Is it because we've got PMS and we're hormonal and we just need something to help with the hormone balancing? Is it because we're really stressed, really tense, we've been hunched over a computer, we just need something to relax those muscles? Or maybe we have a headache because we're just really tired, and something that's going to help us get a good night's sleep is going to help to relieve a lot of that tension. Whereas a modern approach would be, oh, you have a headache, take a Panadol. And it doesn't take the time to address what's really going on underneath. Now, another thing I love as well about essential oils is that they are scientifically backed. So basically, when we're breathing in that essential oil, those aromatic compounds hit our olfactory bulb, which then starts to send signals to our limbic system, which basically then sends neurotransmitters all throughout our body, telling our body how to respond. Now, one thing that's really cool is our sense of smell can actually bypass the thinking part of our brain. It can be almost automatic. The brain is then telling our body how to respond without having to even engage in the thinking. And this means that oils can then have really powerful effects, especially on our mood and our emotions. So when we're feeling maybe frazzled or overwhelmed or stressed out, we can use that aroma to cause our body to have that relaxing effect and feel really nice and relaxed. Now, another thing that I love about essential oils is that they are affordable. And one thing I like to highlight is the difference between proactive versus reactive. So when we're being proactive with our health, we're doing the steps every day to set us up for good health. So the example I like to give is you can brush your teeth every day, you can go to a dentist checkup every 6 months, and you can be proactive with your dental health. Or you can not do any of the above and then wait until you start to get a toothache, go to the dentist and find out you have to get a root canal. Now, I did that when I was at uni because I was a poor uni student. I did brush my teeth. I did brush my teeth because that would be gross if I didn't. But I didn't really get regular checkups because I was at uni and I wasn't really paying attention. And I started getting a toothache and I kind of ignored it until it got so bad I had to go to the dentist. And then I had to spend literally thousands on a root canal. Whereas if I'd gone to the dentist regularly, they probably would have picked it up long before it got that bad. And that's what I kind of like to illustrate the use of essential oils are. They're a way for us to listen to our body when we get those little niggles and something doesn't feel right. We can be paying attention and be aware of it and then use our essential oils to help support our body before it blows out into something massive. And that can then obviously save us money in terms of medical costs. And another thing I love is we can use our oils to DIY stuff. Now, again, I will stress, I'm a mum with 2 young kids. I don't do fancy DIY. My DIY is quick and simple. It's mixing a couple of drops in a spray bottle to make a surface spray, or adding a couple of drops to a melt and pour soap to make my own soap. There are some amazing DIY recipes out there, and it would blow your mind what people can make with their oils. But if you're pretty time poor or you're not really that into it, there are still simple ways you can be using your oils to save money on household products. Now, out of curiosity, pop in the comments, what DIY do you like to do? Hey Nicola, you made it, yay! All right, so what DIY stuff do you like to do? Is there anything you find love doing DIY? I'm not a super huge DIY person. I keep it pretty simple. I do make my own perfume though. That's pretty fun. And finally, how we use our essential oils. Now, I am kind of skimming through this bit pretty quickly. So if you are a total newbie, I would suggest checking out one of my intro style classes, like a Healing Homes and Families, or an Intro to Essential Oils, or Essential Oils Made Simple. I am kind of skimming through this pretty quickly, but if you are new, welcome and thanks for joining us. So how do you use essential oils? 3 ways: aromatically, food additive, and topically. Aromatically means to inhale the aroma. Food additive means adding it to your food or liquid, and topically means applying it on your skin. Little safety note as always, when we apply essential oils on our skin, we want to check to make sure that they are safe to be used neat, or they may require dilution with a carrier oil. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, chat to whoever enrolled you, grab a reference book, or if you're not aligned with any oil educators, send me a message and I'll run you through it. Also, safety notes: oils do not go in your eyes, in your ears, or up your nose. And always be mindful of storing them safely, and be mindful of using them around children and pets. Okay, so that is the not boring part of the class over, but the bit that you've probably seen before over. And now we're going to jump into our new class, to our new oil. Sorry, I'm just going to take my jumper off because we switched the heat on and it warms up in my house very quickly. All right, here we go. Perfume. Facial oil. I haven't done a facial oil. I haven't DIY'd a facial oil. Nicola's asking about facial oil. She does a facial oil. I don't. I do have a mermaid hair blend, and one of the oils that we're getting is going to be added to my mermaid hair blend. So I'm so excited. Seriously, I'm a bit bummed. I was really hoping that my kit would have arrived today because I did order it last week, and I was hoping it would come today and I could like unbox. Didn't arrive in time. That's okay. I've still got a few of the stuff already, so we'll go through. All right, let's talk about lemon eucalyptus, which is going to get really confusing because now we have lemon and we have eucalyptus and we have lemon eucalyptus, but we'll get there. So lemon eucalyptus is from Australia. Now, there are actually quite a few different types of eucalyptus, but there's 3 main ones that are used in essential oils. The first one is the globulus, and Eucalyptus globulus is what we find in our Easy Air and in our On Guard, and it has the highest amount of eucalyptal, which is a chemical constituent. Then we have our Eucalyptus radiata. Now that is the straight eucalyptus. That's what you get when you get a bottle of eucalyptus from doTERRA. Now the primary compound is also eucalypol, but it's lower amounts than the Eucalyptus globulus. If I say these names wrong, I apologize. Then we have a totally different type of eucalyptus, and that is our Eucalyptus citrodora, which is what we find in our lemon eucalyptus. Now, the main chemical is actually citronella, which has a different chemistry to our eucalyptus. It actually has very little eucalyptal. Now, we can use our lemon eucalyptus both topically and aromatically. And in fact, all the ways that you'd be using your citronella oil, you can also use your lemon eucalyptus because they do have fairly similar benefits. However, there are still some differences. Now, this is something I've learned that I thought was super cool. So in our skin, we have different layers, we have different bits of it. We have our elastin, which is in our cellular matrix, and that's what gives our skin its elasticity. Then we have our collagen, which gives it its strength and its structure. We also have our fibroblasts, which are then what makes the collagen and elastin. Now, generally speaking, we use our wood oils and our floral oils to benefit our skin. However, lemon eucalyptus has some similar properties. So you could actually combine lemon eucalyptus with your favorite wood or florals to give some extra support to your skin. Now, it also has very good cleansing capabilities. So again, it's a great one to be using to support your skin and to add to your skin wash. Now, one of the things they talked about at convention was how one of the ways that free radical damage manifests itself is in premature aging of our skin. So all my lovely wrinkles from all those years of running around outside are basically a sign of the free radical damage. Now, last year at convention, they released the yarrow palm oil, and everyone was like, oh my goodness, this is the greatest thing ever, because the pomegranate oil is actually a specialized form of conjugated linoleic acid, which is really good for your skin. So a really great combination is combining our lemon eucalyptus with our yarrow palm. Now lemon eucalyptus is very soothing to our tissues. You can apply it topically. It's very calming and very soothing. And aromatically, it's very uplifting to our mood. And in fact, you can combine it with mint oils or with citruses to create a really uplifting mood. Now, the products that we got at the Australian convention were released in the US last September, and they did a post-convention tour. So I've actually had a chance to smell and play with a few of these oils. So I was actually really excited because I've been waiting and holding off buying them from the States, hoping we'd get them, and we did. I was like, yes. So that is your lemon eucalyptus. So here is a little DIY oven cleaner if you're into DIYs. Now, if you click to get tickets, I will be emailing you a copy of these slides afterwards. If you missed out and you do want a copy of the slides, send me a message or pop a comment, send me your email, and I'll send them through to you. That's fine. Okay, now we have our celery seed. Now I know celery shot to prominence in maybe it was last year when that medical medium dude was like, drink celery juice, it'll save your life. He probably didn't say that. I remember a lot of my friends went on this big celery juicing thing and they were all into their celery juice. I don't really like celery. I had to eat a lot of it when I was doing an elimination diet when my baby was little, and I think I'm still traumatized. Celery's never been a big fan of mine, but celery seed essential oil is pretty darn cool. So I'm going to share it with you guys because I'm actually really excited because it means I can get the benefits of celery without having to eat it. Yay! So celery is a really powerful oil for supporting our digestive and our urinary system. Now, interesting fact is that 70% of our body's immune capabilities actually come from our stomach and our intestines. So obviously keeping them safe and healthy is pretty darn important. So celery can actually be a really powerful natural defense for these critical areas. So what you can be doing is you can add a drop in the water in morning and evening. So like I said, I'm excited because I won't have to drink celery juice. Yay! And of course, do any of you guys love celery juice? I have a friend who swears by it, and I will say she looks amazing. And she has her celery every morning. I just can't stomach the taste. And you can also combine your celery with your lemongrass, basil, and oregano, which, as we know, are very powerful detoxification style oils. So that's a little bit about our celery seed. And next up, we have some recipes for some smoothies. And I know a lot of people have been loving adding the celery seed oil to their green smoothies in the morning. It's very energizing, really uplifting, adds a really powerful serve. So here are two beautiful little recipes that you can be trying. All right, Citronella. Now, I was super excited to see this because I don't like mosquitoes, and pretty much everyone sees Citronella and goes, oh, mozzies, because that's generally what Citronella is used for. So it's got a very fresh smell. It's a little bit lemony. It's quite similar to the lemongrass aroma, but it's actually very different chemistry. Now, obviously, it is well known for its repellent properties, so you can apply it topically, and you do want to be diluting before you apply it. Now, when we dilute it, it helps to localize the effect and also prevents against any skin sensitivity. It's again another one that's very naturally cleansing to our tissues. And one of the ways that they talked about using it at the WEBvention was blend it with tea tree and cilantro and apply it for healthy toes and feet, which I thought was pretty clever. Plus, it would smell amazing. You can actually also add it to your face wash. Again, it's one of those naturally cleansing oils, and it mixes very well with the wood oils. Now, this is the one I was saying I'm going to be adding to my mermaid hair blend because it's a really good one for you to add to your shampoo for its cleansing effect on your hair. And for those of you who don't know what it is, my mermaid hair blend is a blend of about 5 different oils that I keep in a bottle, and I just add a couple of drops to my shampoo, and it seriously made my hair so nice, so smooth, grow really nice. So definitely jump into our Facebook group, which is the Lavender and Friends Oil Squad, and just search for Mermaid Hair Blend if you want to see the before and after photos and also the recipe as well. Now, I do apologize because my hair is currently I don't know if you can see, it's a little bit purple down the bottom. You can't really see very well because it's not very purpley. Anyway, Citronella, you can diffuse it, and it actually can help support a normal, healthy appetite as well. So that was one of the ways that they talked about using it, which I thought was pretty interesting. And you could obviously use it to make a surface spray, and it creates an optimistic, cheery environment. And again, here is a good little surface spray recipe you can be using. I love using my essential oils for cleaning. It is one of my favorite things to do because a lot of the toxic chemicals we use for cleaning are just so harsh, they make me feel really, really sick. So using my essential oils means it smells amazing, it's effective as a cleaner, and it's also more cost effective because it's like, I use a lot of lemon for cleaning and it's super cheap. It's like 6 cents a drop. Okay, black spruce. Now, this is one that I'm super excited about because it is one of the main oils they use in the balance blend. And if you've been following along for a while, you'll know that I had postnatal depression with my first child, and as a result of that, I actually continue to have a little bit of anxiety every so often. And balance has been one of the oils that has really been very, very powerful in terms of my recovery. So when I start to feel overwhelmed, when I start to feel out of control, when I feel that anxiety starting to rise up, what I'll do is I'll put a drop of balance in my hand, breathe it in, rub it on the back of my neck. And in fact, most mornings I start the day with a drop of balance, and it really does help me just to calm myself and to center myself. So I'm very excited that we're going to be having access to this black spruce oil, because one of the things that's becoming more and more, I guess, a focus and a priority is the fact that our mental health is so important. Now, we need to be able to have tools that are going to help us to quiet our mind and to be really, really present. Now, I absolutely loved this quote from the WEBvention, and it was, "As our brain connects to a memory associated with the aromatic compounds you have chosen, in that moment, you can take control. You can choose to change your thought pattern, choose to be present, and coax ourselves out of our perpetual fight or flight." So being stressed isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can actually be a positive thing. It can help us to perform better. It can help us, if we're in danger, to make a split-second decision. But when we're in that constant cycle of perpetual stress, or we're just constantly feeling bombarded and overwhelmed, then we become very run down, and it's not very healthy for us. And one of the things I love learning about, and I've really been just diving into, has been the power that our mind has when we control our thoughts. We can control how we respond. We can just make such phenomenal changes to our mental abilities. And so I'm really excited to be including this black spruce in, because it's a really powerful oil for that calming. So you can use it for skin, for health, for healing. It's got a very woody, balsamic scent, and it's very restorative. So it helps to calm your skin. It can soothe your tired muscles after exercise. You can put on the back of your neck, on your spine. Now, this was probably the highlight of convention for me, and you guys are going to probably have a laugh at how much I'm a nerd, but the way they source this oil is incredibly sustainable. And that's what I'm going to chat about, because one of the things that really always hits me at convention is just how much care doTERRA takes to source their oil sustainably and to really look after the environment and look after the people they're getting their oils from. So black spruce, they don't cut the trees. They don't cut any trees down to get this oil. What happens is the logging industry cuts the trees down, and that's sustainably managed by the government. And what the logging industry does, though, they don't need the branches. So they get rid of the branches and we take it. So what would have just been waste is now being used. The whole tree can be used. Now, what's really cool is they can't just dump the branches in the forest when they're done with them, because that would prevent new growth, but they can't really burn it, because that's going to create more waste, and they had no way of using it. So we have now come in and found a way to use it. It gets cooler than this, right? Where the distilling factory, this is like my super technical explanation. They have an energy factory next, or power plant is next door to the distilling factory. And what they do is the steam to distill comes from next door. So they provide us with the steam, and then once those branches have been steamed and we've gotten oil out of them, we give the branches to them, which they burn and use to create the steam, which we then use. And it's like this closed loop where there's no waste, which to me is like so cool. So I love the fact that this oil is creating a positive use for something that was going to be just wasted and left behind. Love it. Such a nerd. Now, another thing, black spruce is in both the balance and the forgive blend. And emotionally, it's got some really powerful uses. So emotionally, it helps us to remove emotional blocks. So some people have money blocks where they feel like they're not worthy to receive money. They self-sabotage because they don't feel deserving. Some people have emotional blocks about relationships and feel that they're not worthy to receive blessings. And what you can do with this oil is you can inhale the aroma and visualize what you are deserving of, and it helps to release those blocks. It also encourages forward movement, because when we aren't moving forward, we can feel in a state of, you feel complacent, you feel stuck, you feel trapped, and it builds up a bit of resentment and frustration. So if you're feeling maybe like you're not having that forward motion, this can be a really powerful oil to utilize as well. Now, it can also aid overcoming fear that's been triggered by past experiences. It gives you that courage to move forward as well. It promotes a sense of courage, and sort of like the black spruce tree, it keeps us rooted deep down in the ground, and yet it encourages to rise up and to look up and to move forwards. Now, physically, one of the main chemical constituent is our bornyl acetate, which you also find in your Siberian fir, Douglas fir, balsam, which is actually really good for brightening your skin. So it's been found that it may inhibit the enzyme that actually produces our melatonin, our melanin, which is what darkens our skin. Now, the ways we can use it aromatically. We can apply it to the bottom of our feet. We can put it on our joints and muscles before and after we exercise. And it's also, like most of the fir oils, most of the tree oils, it's good support to our respiratory system because it can act as a vasodilator, which again, when you inhale that aroma and it clears your chest and you're getting clear oxygen in, that in itself is going to be a really powerful way to help you to feel really calm and really relaxed. So, as you can tell, I was super excited about black spruce coming on to Australia because I just love the smell of it. And here are some really beautiful diffuser blends you can be using with, blends well with citrus oils. You can blend it with that lemon myrtle. Some beautiful, beautiful options. Okay, then came, well, look, the other ones are pretty exciting as well, but I will say the next couple of oils are what most people were cheering for. I was secretly cheering for black spruce. So first of all, we have our Adaptiv blend. Now this was launched in September last year and has been phenomenally popular. And it comes as an essential oil, and it also comes as a 15 ml touch roller. Now, Adaptiv is a beautiful blend. So we've got our lavender, our magnolia, and our neroli, and our sweet gum, and that's bringing the calming element. Then we have our wild orange and our spearmint, which is both uplifting and energizing. And then it's got the copaiba and the rosemary to help round it all out. Now, if you're feeling restless, indecisive, irritable, this is about helping to balance your mind and your body. And then you also have our touch roller, so you can be diffusing it or you can be applying it topically as well. Now, Adaptiv is about helping us to adapt to our stressful lives. So obviously we are designed to adapt. We've got neuroplasticity, we've got the ability to, change and move. And when we encounter new situations, we need to be able to adapt and make changes in order to then thrive in that environment. But our adaptive abilities can be compromised. So if you have chronic stress, environmental toxins, a sedentary lifestyle, nutritional deficiencies, all these things can inhibit our ability to adapt. So this is why the adaptive aroma is so powerful, because it helps us to feel much, much better. And one of the things that I loved about the Adaptiv is they actually did a pilot clinical human trial. So one of the things that doTERRA is super passionate about, which is probably why I love them so much, is they really want to be pioneering scientific research into essential oils. And one thing they're really passionate about is we know that the oils work. Now they want the science to catch up and to tell us how and why. And that's something that they talked a lot about at convention, which just made me super excited to see the kind of work they're going to be doing in the future. So what they did with the Adaptiv clinical trial is they wanted to find out, could diffused blends help test takers feel less anxious? So they got 60 people in and they told them they were going to be product testers, but they needed to take an assessment test and they were looking for certain characteristics. So what they did is they had 2 rooms. So one room was diffusing water and the other room was diffusing Adaptiv. Now it was randomized. They didn't know which room they were going to get put in. It was a crossover. So they did test in one room and then they swapped rooms. And it was also blind as well. So they didn't know, the researchers didn't know which rooms people were in. They didn't know. Now, so it's a randomized, single blind, placebo controlled and a crossover. So while the test takers were taking the test, they had a temperature strip, because when you're feeling anxious, your temperature rises, you feel a bit flushed. And they also had, they're measuring their pulses with a pulse oximeter, because again, when you get nervous, your heart pounds a bit faster and you get a bit anxious. And what they did is they had the scientists walking around the room. They had a giant countdown timer on the wall so they could see how much time they had left, and they had a combination of math and English questions they had to get through, which, by the way, were really hard. They showed one of the questions and I was like, I could not have done it. And they had 12 minutes, which allowed them 48 seconds per question. So quite a stressful environment they're putting them in. Now, when they analyzed the data, it was quite interesting. They didn't find a statistical difference because there was such a small group and this was a pilot study, but they did find clinical differences which were worth noting and worth exploring further. So interestingly, the participants had higher results in the exams in the rooms when Adaptiv was diffusing, and they also had lower stress levels and less anxious feeling. Now, they then had the participants come in and smell a variety of blends and write down what words they felt from the blends. Now, at this point, again, none of them had heard of Adaptiv. No one knew what it was. They didn't know what they were. They didn't know the name of it. They didn't know what the oil was meant to be doing. But a lot of the words that came up from the participants were things like calming, relaxed, energized, happy. And it's interesting that even without knowing what the oil was meant to do to them, it was having the effect that was intended. So it was pretty cool. I found that really exciting. And I think that the study they'll continue to do with Adaptiv is going to prove to be pretty fascinating. And this was just a little testimonial. I do agree with what she says. It does take a couple of days. So we diffused Adaptiv maybe every second day at the moment, because it's been just a really it's been really beneficial being at home, being so stressed. And it's definitely one I love popping in the morning when, we're trying to get the schoolwork done and everyone's groggy, and, it's a great one to be using. Now, next we have our Lemon Myrtle. Now, Lemon Myrtle has actually been a limited time offer oil that they've had, I think like 2 or 3 times it's been available. It was available, you could earn it, and then you could buy it as part of the Christmas catalog. Now, Lemon Myrtle is an Australian oil, and it's actually one that's been used by Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people for a very, very long time. It's very calming. It's got a very relaxing aroma. Like a lot of the citrus oils, it can be used for cleaning, and it can also be used for cooking. So I personally will say Lemon Myrtle cheesecake is amazing. It's a beautiful, very subtle fragrance, so you can definitely use it for that as well. Then here are a couple of diffuser blends and ways you can be using it. So it goes very well with the woody oils as well as the citrus oils. It's quite beautiful with those ones. All right, next up we have our kids collection. Now, out of curiosity, who here is super excited about the kids collection? Because as soon as they announced this, I already could think of about 10 different people who I was like, oh, gotta call them. So Kids Collection was released actually not last year, maybe it was the year before. It's been around for a little while in the States, and it's been so popular. I think it was actually 2 years ago. And doTERRA has been trying to get the kids collection into Australia since then. So yeah, it must have been 2 years it's been around actually. So I actually got this when it first came out 2 years ago because I have young kids. I love rollers because they're so easy. You just literally take the lid off, bam, you can roll them on, apply them, amazing. Now, I will say though, we've been using them super sparingly because of the fact that I didn't want to have to do another US order to get them. So I was like, oh, I've got to keep them, can't use them up heaps. And now I'm like, since they've announced that we're getting them, I'm just like, yes. And seriously, I have probably used 2 to 3 of them every single day this week. Like, it's been amazing. And my kids love them. So it's a collection of 6 oils, which I'm just going to drop on the table. So you got your 6 different oils. Very pretty. Okay, so first of all, we have our calmer. Now these are all blends and they're all diluted with a carrier oil, so they're safe for sensitive skin. Don't be fooled by the name Kids Collection. I use them, I love them. And to be honest, it's kind of nice to have some new blends to use. So calmer is the restful blend. So think of it as an alternative to Lavender Peace. We use it before bedtime. We use it mid-meltdown when the kids are having meltdowns, both the kids and mummy. Mummy has meltdowns, mummy uses calmer. And it's just a really gorgeous one that you can be using to help support your healthy sleep habits. And it's got a really it's kind of got like a florally woody aroma. It's very relaxing, really beautiful. Then we have Rescuer, which is a soothing blend. Kind of like your Ice Blue, your Aroma Touch. Again, it's one that's really good if you have maybe a child suffering from growing pains, if you've got a bit of tension. I managed to throw out my back again on like literally the first week we were isolating. And then I didn't go to the physio for 2 months because I didn't want to leave the house. Bad decision, don't recommend it, go to a physio. But I was using this quite a lot and it really does provide that feeling of relief that you get from those Ice Blue and those Aroma Touch. And it's nice just having a different smell for once. Then we have our Steady. And again, this is one we use pretty much every day at the moment. Think of it as an alternative to Balance. It's a really good one if you're feeling just a bit out of sorts, you just need some grounding and some calming. So this one has in it, what's it got? It's got amyris, balsam, coriander, and magnolia, which sounds kind of weird, coriander and magnolia, but actually it really works. That's what I'm smelling. It's the magnolia. I was wearing this before and I couldn't figure out what it was reminding me of, and it's the magnolia, which I love magnolia. Oh, Thinker. Okay. Thinker is kind of like In Tune for kids, which when you're homeschooling, Thinker is amazing. So we've been putting Thinker on every day before we start our schoolwork. We do a little bit on the temples, back of the neck, a little bit on the wrists, and the mornings I forget to put it on, I really notice the difference. My daughter is just started kindy, so she's only 5. She's the second youngest in the school. And getting her to concentrate for long periods of time, obviously not super easy. But I really notice that when she uses the Thinker one, she really does stay on task and she stays motivated a lot better. So that's a Thinker. And then, okay, not gonna lie, Brave is my favorite. This is the one that I use the most. So Brave is a courage blend, which sounds really, really cheesy. But if you followed my page for long enough, you'll remember when I had my school 15-year reunion and I was like covered head to toe in this stuff. It is just such a beautiful blend if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling anxious. This is probably going to be the one we're going to be using when we start preparing to go back to school again. And yeah, it's just a gorgeous one to make you feel really confident, really, really self-assured. Great one to be using if you do affirmation work, if that's something you incorporate in your practice, because you can be aromatically anchoring those powerful affirmations with this particular aroma. It works really, really well for that. Yay! WL Gardner is super excited about the kids, and so is Nicola. Because yeah, how exciting are they? Love these ones. And then we have my other favorite, which you'll notice is pretty much out, and that's Stronger. Think of it as your alternative to On Guard, which, funny enough at the moment, loving to pieces as well. Now, I love Stronger for a couple of reasons. First of all, I love On Guard, but when you've used the same oil blend for 3 years straight, every single day, you do get a little bit over it, not gonna lie. And so it's nice to have an alternative. I also love Stronger because it has rose in it, and rose is probably one of my favorite aromas ever. I also love Stronger because it works, just saying. Really, it's a great oil. And again, the thing I love about the touch oils, and this is what I'm going to bang on about, is they're easy to use. They're quick, they're simple, they're not complicated. I don't have time when I'm chasing after a toddler and trying to homeschool a 5-year-old and cook dinner and clean the house. Like, I don't have time to sit there and make things complicated. I love this because I can literally chase my toddler down. This is going to sound really strange. Pull the shirt up, wiggle up and down the spine, and then release child off to do whatever they need to do. And it takes 2 seconds, and I can feel confident knowing, okay, oils are on, oils are done, let's keep going. You can keep them in your handbag. I love putting them in my handbag, and then when I'm out, again, I can just reapply them as needed. And I also love the fact that I can use these to empower my kids. So obviously we don't have the oils where they can get to them. They are stored out of reach. But my kids have learned the names of their favorite oils. And my daughter will now come to me and say, Mommy, I'm feeling a bit something. I need such and such oil. Or I'll say, what should we put in the diffuser? And they'll pick a blend. And like, they love putting on their touch rollers themselves. They know how to put them on. They'll say which oil they want. I hand it to them. Obviously, I watch them. I have a 3-year-old, so I do have to watch him. But I love the fact that they're now learning to listen to their bodies, to stop and to go, how do I feel? How do I want to feel? What tools do I have to help me get there? Because it's a really overwhelming time at the moment for them. And it's really important that we're giving them the autonomy and helping them to, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to be upset. But how can we deal with it? How can we work through that? And so I love having these tools to be able to help them with that. And that's something I think is really, really powerful. Okay, now, if you have any particular health concerns you'd like a bit of support with, a bit of help with, feel free to pop them in the comments. I'm happy to give you some suggestions. Not a doctor, I can't treat, diagnose, prevent, or cure anything, but I can share with you my experience as a mum who loves oils. Or if you want to maybe have a personal chat, feel free to send me a message. Happy to have a chat with you guys later. Now, I will share a little bit about the co-impact sourcing, because this is something that I am super excited about. And I think it's really important that as we sit here in our very, very, very wealthy, blessed world, like very blessed Australia at least, we need to be aware that obviously not everyone is as lucky as us. And where we invest our money and where we choose to buy from and who we choose to support as businesses, that is going to create a massive flow-on effect. So I have, since starting using doTERRA, become a lot more aware about the importance of using ethical and sustainable providers. Now, with doTERRA, they use a thing called co-impact sourcing. They don't own farms. They have no intention of owning a bunch of farms. What they do is they build farmers. So a lot of the where they source their oils from, like with the black spruce, how it's a closed loop where there's no waste, and they're using a product that would have been waste otherwise, and now they're making it into something. Or green mandarin, the green mandarin oil, which I love, in the citrus industry, mandarins, they throw away 70, I think it was something like 70 or 75% of mandarins get thrown away because they're green, they're unripe, and they can't be used. What a huge waste. And then in comes doTERRA, and they're now taking those green mandarins, which would have just been tossed and left as waste, and they're making something out of it. And that's something I really love. They're providing these farmers with an income source that is going to be long-term. They're helping to commit to these farmers. They're helping to educate them. They're helping to work with community projects. And I really want to encourage people to go and look at the website Source to You and look at the Healing Hands and look at the kind of projects and the work that they're doing, and knowing that when we purchase our products, we're getting the benefit of the oils, but the person who grew them and the person who distilled them is also benefiting. And with the doTERRA supply chain, they've cut it dramatically short, because there's not brokers, there's not third parties. They know exactly where the oil is grown, where it gets distilled, sent straight to the States where it gets tested, bottled, shipped straight to us. Like, it's just such an amazing supply chain that they've created that is so transparent, and that's why we know we have such pure oils. So, we have now had a chance to look through all the products. What was your favorite? What are you the most excited about? Pop in the comments. I'd love to know which one you are super pumped to be getting, or which one you want to get. So if you are new to doTERRA and you don't yet have any oils, if you're already aligned with someone else, please feel free to go back to them and they can help you get started. If you haven't aligned with anyone and you want to join up with me, awesome, love to have you. So the way we purchase our doTERRA Essential Oils, there's 3 ways. The first is retail, which is full price. The second is wholesale. That's where you get a 25% discount off retail. You get ongoing training and support. And you also get your own wholesale account where you can log in, order what you want, when you want, ship straight to your door. The third way, which is the most economical, is you get a wholesale account where you get that 25% discount. And then you also activate your loyalty rewards program and you can earn points to get free products. Now, I love the loyalty rewards program. If you are not sure what I'm talking about, check out any of my unboxing videos. I go through the LRP program at the start of it. Now let's see, Devielle, I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. So she's looking forward to Citronella, me too, when summer hits. And I'm so excited Nicola's gonna love black spruce as much as I will. You will love it. It smells amazing. It's like balance on steroids. Like, it's so good. Love it. I seriously bummed it didn't come today. So if you want to purchase any of these oils, the first way is there is the convention kit, the Thrive WEBvention Kit. Now, we don't yet know what the prices are going to be individually, but traditionally, buying convention kit is around about $100 to $250 savings on buying things individually. Someone added up the prices if you were to get everything from the States, and I think it was about $500 Australian, which I was like, wow. So you can purchase this kit, which has all of these oils in it, as well as 2 bonus rollers I didn't talk about today because you can't purchase them. And that's the Thrive roller and the Together roller. And that is Australian, $277 Australian. And the oils will individually be available for sale on June 2nd. We don't yet know the pricing. Obviously, as soon as we do, I'll update it and let you guys know. Now, the other way you can, the way you can get your own wholesale account, there's 2 ways to get it. The first is you pay a $35 membership fee and you can just pick and choose what products you want to get. Alternatively, you can purchase a starter kit. Now, when you purchase a starter kit, it's kind of a bit better value because, first of all, you don't have to pay the $35. That's included in the price. Second of all, you get a savings which is bigger than if you were to buy each product individually. And the third thing is the kits have been put together specifically to suit that particular need. So you're going to get a variety of products that you can be using. Now, there's a couple of different starter kits. I've just listed the most popular ones here. I'll just briefly mention them. Again, if you are wanting to learn more about these kits or how to get the oils, please feel free to send me a message or pop in the comments. You've got our Home Essentials and Family Essentials kit. That's our top 10 oils. You have our Nature's Solutions Essentials. That one is a super awesome kit, and that's like the big one if you really want to make over your life, make over your home, make over your health. That's the one to go with. We have the Emotional Aromatherapy box. Now, the emotional blends are amazing, and I'll actually be talking about them in my webinar, which will be on June 16th. It'll be at 7 p.m. If you're interested in that one, register via my Facebook events or register via my Eventbrite. Go to my Facebook, Lavender and Friends, and you'll find the link under the events tab. And then we've got our wellness boxes. These are awesome because these are starter kits for less than $200 and they're phenomenal. You've got your Bedtime Bliss one, which is like calming, relaxing oils. You've got your Seasonal Essentials, which is kind of like when you transition from one season to the next and you might be struggling a bit, this is a real good one to help you stay healthy. Then you have your Gourmet Cooking, which is all the cooking oils, which I love. And then you have your Active Sports, which is may sound like it's just for sporty people, but it's not. It's anyone who wants to move their body, which, as we know, exercise is one of the foundations of good health. So it's a really powerful kit to have as well. So finally, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please feel free to share this video, tag your friends in it. As I said, I'll be emailing out a copy of the presentation afterwards. If you want to get in touch, you can jump on my website, www.lavenderandfriends.com. If you want to purchase any oils, get your starter kit, you can do it there. Alternatively, if you want a bit of help, you're not sure what to get, please feel free to send me a message via my Facebook page, which again is Lavender and Friends. Send me a message. We can have a chat about what's going to work best for you, what kind of a kit's going to work best, or what's going to be the best fit. And make sure you like and follow my Facebook page, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay up to date with everything. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'll just see there's a question. Do you know if the kit will be available in June? Kit is available now. So the convention kit is available currently until sold out. I don't know stock levels. I haven't been updated with that. At the start, when it was released on convention day, it was limited to 1 per person, and you could only purchase it if you had a convention ticket. I believe they've now lifted that restriction. I know you can get more than 1 per person, and I think it's now available to everyone. So if you're thinking of getting it, jump on. The SKU, if you just look for Thrive, otherwise the SKU is 602-13273. I'll put that in there for you. Actually, I'll copy that for you guys if you like. One second, I'm just knocking all my oils over. There you go. There's all the information. All right, where was I? Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you found this really helpful. Any questions, send me a message, and otherwise, see ya!